Now, the third one. Name the following. See, 5 descriptions are given here and we need to identify the suitable answers for this. 5 descriptions are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 descriptions are there. And now we need to find the answer for them. Now, first one. The capital city of Rajasthan. What is the capital of Rajasthan? Jaipur. What is the capital of Rajasthan? Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan. Second question. The only river of Rajasthan is a river Luni. Okay. It originates at the southern ends of Aravalli range and flows to the southwest and joins Ran of Kutch. Okay. The only river in Rajasthan is a Luni. The canal which changed Rajasthan into a green area. 40,000 hectares of land is actually converted by the government themselves as the largest wheat producing area in India. So what has brought this much change in Rajasthan? Yeah, there is a canal, isn't it? There is a canal which brings the water from Satluj and Bias to the plains of Punjab and Rajasthan and making it one of the most fertile regions which produce wheat. So what is the name of that canal? The canal is called Indira Gandhi Canal or the Rajasthan Canal. Okay, Indira Gandhi Canal or the Rajasthan Canal is a canal which has changed Rajasthan into a green area. Now, the main languages spoken in Rajasthan. The people of Rajasthan speak basically 2 languages. They are one is Rajasthani, second is Hindi, the common language of North India. Right? Rajasthani and Hindi are the languages that are spoken in North India. Sorry, Rajasthan. The pink city, the city which is known as the pink city. The lake city is Udaipur, pink city is Jaipur. Pink city is Jaipur. Right? So that is it, the answers. The capital city of Rajasthan is Jaipur. The only river of Rajasthan is Luni. The canal which changed Rajasthan into a green area is called the Indira Gandhi Canal. The same canal is also known as the Rajasthan Canal. The main languages spoken in Rajasthan is Hindi and Rajasthani. The pink city is Jaipur. Right? So now I will keep the screen the same for another minute for you so that you can read it once. Right? Now it's a time for the answer the following questions. So there are 5 questions given here about this lesson regarding the Great Indian Desert that we have learned, and what we need to do is to identify the answers for these questions. So what is a desert is the first question. What is a desert? A desert is a barren area where rainfall is less, vegetation is scarce, and has extremely high or low temperatures. So, vast barren land area with very less rainfall, scarce vegetation, and has extremely high or low temperature. Okay, so it's a vast land area without any rainfall and without much vegetation. Very few number of plants do grow there, and that too here and there, not everywhere. And the temperature is extreme low or extreme high, right? Extreme low during the night time, extreme high during the daytime, isn't it? Yeah, such places are called a desert, right? So a desert is a barren area where rainfall is less, vegetation is scarce, and has extreme high or a low temperature, right? Now, the second question. What is an oasis? A fertile spot in the desert where water is found is called an oasis. So we have seen that deserts are vast sandy regions where at some places we can find some water. And the soil around that region also do support the crops, and then we can see some people living in that region. And these regions are called oasis, right? So what is an oasis? Yeah, the spot in the fertile spot in the desert where water is found is called an oasis. Third one, where does the Great Indian Desert lie? Where does the Great Indian Desert lie? The Great Indian Desert lies to the west of the northern plains. So we have seen the mountains, the northern mountains. Below that, we have the northern plains, and the west of that, we have seen in the map also. We have seen the Great Indian Desert. So the Great Indian Desert lies to the west of northern plains. Next one. What kind of a climate is found in Rajasthan? What kind of a climate is found in Rajasthan? The climate of Rajasthan is extreme. It's very hot in summer and very cold in winter. Days are very hot and the nights are very cold throughout the year. See, the climate of Rajasthan is extreme. Desert region, they have extreme climatical conditions. You see, it's very hot in summer. Okay, too hot during the summer and too cold during the winter. Days are very hot throughout the season. Days are very hot and nights are very cool. Why is a camel called the ship of a desert? Why are camels called the ship of a desert? Camel is the most useful animal in the desert. It's true, there are no other animals which can match with the ability of a camel to cope with the desert. It can store sufficient food as a fat in its hump. It can travel on sand without food and water for many days. It has large padded feet so it can walk over the sand easily. So it is rightly called the ship of the desert. So the major problems in deserts are the sandy soil in which our legs will sink into. It's very difficult to find food and water. So camel has all the facilities to cope up with these three difficulties. First of all, it has a padded feet, large flat padded feet which will not sink into the sand. Second, it can store food and water as a fat in its hump and it can travel without food and water for days. So, camel is rightly called the ship of the desert. Okay? See, read the questions once again. What is a desert? A desert is a barren area where rainfall is less, vegetation is scarce, and has extremely high or low temperatures. Second, what is an oasis? A fertile spot in a desert where water is found is called an oasis. Third, where does the Great Indian Desert lie? The Great Indian Desert lie on the west of northern plains. Fourth, what kind of a climate is found in Rajasthan? The climate of Rajasthan is extreme. It's very hot in summer and very cold in winter. Days are very hot and the nights are very cold throughout the year. Why is a camel called the ship of a desert? Camel is the most useful animal in the desert. It can store sufficient food as a fat in its hump. It can travel on sand without food and water for many days. It has large padded feet, so it can walk over sand easily. So, it's rightly called the ship of the desert. Right? So now, I'll keep the screen the same for another minute so that you can read all these questions and the answers once again. Read it loud, read it thoroughly. Fine?